Okay, we're live.
Oh, we're live?
How do you start your videos?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so that'll work.
Just like that? All right.
Whatever you want to do.
I mean, this
It's
is our
your video.
This is our first like actual
ally has been
podcast
slain.
style.
Yeah.
It's kind of warm up.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to talk about what we think about faults and our comparisons to predecessors and
Well,
just
you're
like-
the only one blessed with a predecessor.
I'm
team.
sorry.
The rest of us are.
it was
peasants
given
that
it
have
was
to wait.
it was given to me. I probably shouldn't say that, but it was given to me. I didn't even get one.
They're pretty stingy on Twitter too.
Which is, and they give like 5 to content creators and like streamers and stuff like that. And you can't get that stuff.
No.
I don't feel like sitting around for 2 hours to maybe get one key from Nobori.
Right.
Okay.
I don't want to watch other people stream. I just want
wanna play it, yeah.
I feel like I understand what they're doing. They're giving it to streamers. Then people watch the stream, which
And they're like, oh,
boosts their content. But also, you'd probably just get more love if you just tripled the keys and let people play,
Yeah.
unless their servers can't handle it or whatever it is.
yeah. I mean, I wonder. This is off topic, but I wonder how many people they have in their alphas, like closed alphas. Like, what's the number? Like 5,000, 1,000.
I mean, what it sounds like, 500.
You think so?
Yeah, like
just like 100 content creators. And
yeah,
then, like,
100 content creators with like 5 keys each. Is it 100 creators? I don't think it is.
There's not.
I think it's probably like 20 or 30, and they each have 5. It might be 100 people in a thing, because if you tell them it's just this weekend, what else are you going to do? You're just going to play it that weekend.
You just play 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, and then get in and out.
Well, it's not like an open alpha. I mean, they're still doing testing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, if somebody gave me a key and was like, you can only play Saturday, I would probably
play, like, a
binge it a
couple
little
games,
bit
yeah.
and play more than I would do in one sitting regularly. But that's
Oh.
just because it's like, I just want to play, and this is the only time it's available.
I played 1 game. That's it.
Man,
And I went 15 and 5. It was good.
as an off-lane carry.
Yeah. All right.
So fault. Let's go to fault.
So fault.
Yeah.
Let's start with the. You want to start with the pros because we talk more about the cons.
Yeah,
So the pros,
nostalgia.
nostalgia.
Like,
I mean,
you get to
Enemy has
play
been
some of the
slain.
classic people.
it is a fun game. It is a fun game to play. It's better,
An
I
enemy
think, than
has been
Smite
slain.
and League, and I mean, even though it is early access, alpha, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
the graphics are still really good. It still looks really good.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. The problem, not to hit a con right out the gate, is the frame drops that happen a lot. It doesn't matter what rig you're running. I feel like there's always.
Yeah, I mean, I limit mine to 60 FPS.
Yeah, so do I.
So it doesn't fluctuate.
Yeah.
Because I set it to unlimited and it was like 140 to 40, and you just start
Yeah.
stuttering. But I mean,
Yeah, because mine can run it at 120
Mhm.
easy, and it'll be fine. And then as soon as
Free
Gideon goes to
people.
ult, I'm like, "Zzz," I can't hit a minion. But okay, positive. Back to positive.
so it feels good.
yeah,
I feel like most of the characters are pretty well balanced. I mean, there's like Steel has 3 stuns that he
Steel's
should
a
not
little
have.
annoying. Yeah,
And I do like that everybody has a unique passive.
I like unique passives.
And then people who already had passives like Kwang, he had a new ability.
Oh right, like his E.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the,
yeah.
yeah.
Like Chimera and stuff like that, they have new abilities, which is cool. I mean, that
People
goes.
love passives. Passives make the learning curve much easier because it's basically like training wheels on
Mm-hmm.
people. They give you boosts in certain areas that make that certain character better,
Mhm.
which is good for people that are learning. Like
Mhm.
it's good for junglers, for Chimera just to have health regen, like stacking health regen.
Yeah,
stuff
and
like
same with Kwang too. That's what makes him a good offlaner.
yeah, all the
and-
life
and-
steal
yeah.
and extra armor and stuff like that.
And
I
I
agree.
don't know. Overall, like the game doesn't feel bad. I mean, it's early access, so my expectations were pretty low.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm gonna go in there. There's gonna be problems with
enemy
it,
has
but
been
we're gonna have
slain.
fun with it.
Yeah.
Just because like it's that nostalgia hit. We're just gonna try. Like I already tried off lane Narbash and
Yeah.
and carry Bellica, and they went horrible. But I don't know. It's a fun game. Like
They've done a really good job of bug patches, like
Mhm.
right away. Like when we first started playing, we were there the first weekend, minions were invincible in the jungle. And
And-
it's like, how am I going to farm as a jungler if I can only kill one of the 3 minions and then they chase you all the way to the middle lane? It's
Yep.
like but they fixed that on like a first patch, like right away. They were like, oh, we need to fix this. We need to fix some audio. And they tackled that stuff,
Yeah,
which is promising for it moving down the road.
The 3 things that I think we said was people move too slow, and they upped it by like 10 or 20, which
Yeah.
isn't that much, but it's still something.
You have to start small. You don't want to overswing.
Towers were too tanky, and they downgraded towers a little bit, but it still helps.
Yesterday I had a game where I was dominating off lane, and I actually got a tower with the help of a jungler at 6 minutes.
Okay.
Which you couldn't have done that the first weekend. You could have 11 minions in there, and you could just be smacking away, just holding left click, and you'd never get the tower.
Yeah, and they actually decreased the size of minions too, which helps a lot, because I think we were complaining how like you're trying to get that last hit on somebody and you have to like
They're just in the
jump
way.
and yeah.
I still have that problem with the Narbash Thunk. Like I try to jump and go over top of a minion to hit a carry, and I'm just dome piecing one of the minions with a Thunk. I'm like, well, there goes all that mana.
Okay, so I don't have like it. I don't have. It's not that I don't have any more pros, but I think more pros will lead to more cons that are in my head.
Another pro I do have. The first week that it was out, matchmaking was like 15 seconds.
Oh yeah,
like you hit play and you could get into a queue pretty quick. Like 15 seconds was the longest I waited. What are we, week 2 now?
Yeah,
or 3?
I think the longest I had was like 55 seconds.
Yeah,
which still isn't bad.
Yeah, I've hit 10 minutes now.
That's wild.
I mean,
that's probably a bug. I think you just need to cancel and go back in.
I don't know. I've done it multiple times, and it'll be 10 minutes, and then somebody will draft abort and 10 more minutes. But 10 minutes isn't terrible. Any OG Paragoners remember the 50-minute queue time, so.
Okay, so
it's not.
It's bad. It was like 40
not
minutes.
that bad.
I made a whole video just in queue.
Yeah. Panda car.
Panic car. Okay, so I haven't talked to you about this con, but I noticed it while editing the predecessor's video this afternoon, and they do it really well. And it's something I noticed, just like Fault doesn't do it at all, is you can't see your projectiles while autoing.
Oh, I don't even think I noticed that, to be honest.
Yeah, so when I shoot as like Sparrow, you don't see that 20 millisecond arrow go.
Has been slain.
So I think it's just like subconscious where you just like
You're
you
kind of
don't know
filling in the gap.
where you
on
don't know
Fault.
where you're gonna.
Yeah.
So Fault does that really well, and they have that down to a science. Like you see that just a little like golden streak go by, and it just feels really good. Fault, nothing. Like,
Wait, sorry. Which one has it and which one does? You said Fault.
Predecessors has it.
Predecessor has
And
it, right.
it feels really good.
Yeah, because Fault, you just click and then like the minion.
And then you
does
see
the
these.
thing.
slain.
You don't see any projectile movements or anything.
You can get away with that a little bit as a carry or like people who play carries because you're so focused, at least for me, on the health of the minions that making sure you're getting it. Like, I feel like the peripheral goes away. But when you're looking at, if you're like 1v1ing another carry, I feel like missing that visual. Like, doesn't know, am I even leading my shots? Like, I can't tell because it's just a cursor.
And it's hard to lead your shots because you don't see where it's traveling, and like I don't know, it's just
I'm
all
actually
subconscious.
I'm recalling right now. I played a game this morning. I'm recalling right now. I was twin blast tracking somebody, and they were running back to their tower, and nobody's around me. Minions. There was a team fight somewhere else. I caught him like going back, and I had to lead him, but I couldn't tell. I wasn't hitting him, and I couldn't tell. Am I too far in front? Am I right on him still? Like I couldn't tell, and I'm replaying that in my head right now of like. There's nothing. There's no projectile. There's no way.
That's one of the reasons why I
has
don't
been
like
slain.
Twins ult is because it just enhances his basics, and I can't see his basics. So that's one of my biggest flaws because I'm a carry main, and it's very hard.
Yeah.
But then it's just the main thing that Fault doesn't have is polish. It's just it gets super laggy when there's a team fight. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to like really carry in a team fight if you're fed, if in ahead of everyone. But once Steel starts ulting or Muriel ults in, or if you get ulted by Sev and then you fly back, it is hard
You drop
to
like 20 frames.
Yeah, you can't locate who's doing what, and then there always seems to be 7,000 minions. So like it just muddies like who am I even targeting right now? Team fights are rough.
Team fights are rough. Yeah, it's
you
just
can't locate the targets that you want to. And I feel like I like the map a lot actually, but I do feel like if you're team fighting mid lane, everything is jammed on top. Like I'm running into like the walls or the elevated spot when you get to like the middle of the map, and then there's all the minions and heroes moving around. It just feels like they're so clustered that there's nowhere to maneuver at all.
Yeah, I mean that's just probably a flaw of like MOBAs in general.
Yeah.
How minions are too big, so you can't hit autos on characters.
Yeah.
But that's my thing is just it's polish. It goes down to like dropping frames when team fights are going on. You get stuck on something that you shouldn't get stuck on.
Oh yeah.
You're just the autos. You can't see where you're hitting for your basic attacks.
Yeah.
Like little things like Gideon's rock. Have you ever noticed where when he does his portal, the rock just shows up in front of you? It doesn't
I have
drop.
not noticed that
been
because I
slain.
refuse to play mid lane because I hate it so much.
It's just little things like that where Fault needs to, and I mean this is what, like 3 weeks in
Yeah.
from them being early
Yeah.
access. We're not like hitting on the game or anything like that. It's
No,
just
not at
our
all.
point of view of what needs to be done to
Yeah.
make this a good game.
We can backtrack and say shout out to Fault for putting out something.
Oh yeah,
Because we've had fun. Like
Yeah.
we've played it plenty.
An enemy
It's
has
good.
been
We're just,
slain. An enemy
you know,
has
sad.
been
We're
slain.
conversating on a game
Yeah.
that we both like and
Yeah.
want it to succeed. It's just, I mean, it's what, like a half a dozen people that may or may not have a solid background as
Right. They could be learning
developers
as they go.
developed a game.
Yeah.
That's kind of epic.
Yeah. As far as the polish goes, like I totally agree. For me, I really enjoy aesthetics, so the HUD I think can be better. And they've said in their last post they're working on the HUD, so good for that. But the audio I would like to be better. I would like for wards to ping a noise or something, or flash, like do something, because I feel like I have wards on the screen on the map all the time, and I can't ever really see when people are coming. It'll be like,
An
oh shoot,
enemy
there's
has been
Chimera coming from the jungle, but he's already on top of me. I don't know if
Double
that's
kill.
another thing. The icons on the map are huge, so like I play support a lot, and so as Muriel, I want to ult across map to save somebody, but I can't tell which one I'm going to, and I can't quite see on the mini map because the circles are on top of each other, and I would have to look at other games to see, like, does that happen a lot? Is that
It kind of like highlights their silhouette through the walls, so you know
Yeah.
that's what Paragon used to do.
yeah? But on
Like,
this, it's just
you're
like
just point and
you
click.
can feel that kind of like rigid lock on when you're moving your cursor, but you don't know
who it
which
is.
one you're going to, and so you might go to the full health person, which you needed to give shield to the low health person, and so there's little stuff like that I think.
Or the,
Like the
little
mini
things
map.
like the health bars. Like, why are
Yeah.
they both green? Why isn't
I
one
don't
red?
know. I don't know.
For enemies.
Yeah,
It's just, I don't know. It's just, there, and I think that just boils down, we can break it down as much as we can, but I think it just goes back to polish.
yeah,
And, I mean, yeah, this game's been out for 3 weeks, and they are doing a really good job. But yeah, man,
An
it's just
enemy
like,
has been slain.
why did you make the health bars all green to begin with?
because they're colorblind like you.
Dude, at first I thought it was red and green, and then I was just
Been
getting
slain.
really confused. And during team fights, dude, I'm shooting at
just
a
shooting at
massive
stuff.
green.
Yeah,
An enemy
it
has
doesn't matter.
been slain.
I've 100% shot at my own teammate before.
Oh yeah, I turn around, I'm like, oh crap,
Yeah, I know I
Chimera's
should
here.
know who they are. But
Yep.
what's your number one ask right now? If you were like, I would like them to add this.
Man, that's a hard one, dude.
I know mine.
What's yours? What's yours?
Deck building.
Oh,
I want to see the cards outside of the game, and I want to be able to build. And okay, maybe not even fully deck building. Not like to where I can make a deck for Twin or Steel or Sev. I just want to be able to look at the cards and make funky builds, or like do the math on what can be the most effective. Because right now in game, I kind of just run the recommendeds and kind of break off a little bit. The only time I really get to branch off and really try to make my own build is when you die late in game and you get like a whole minute respawn timer. So I'm like, okay, now I can look at cards. But that early game farm is so important. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna go back and do hunt if I'm a carry, and then I'm gonna do AI boost, and then I'm gonna do P-Blade or K Castle. But like, there's other red cards. I don't 100% know what they do, and everything has an active, which is kind of a con for me. Everything has an active. Or just like an extra passive, which passive is fine because you don't have to do anything with it. But I would like to be able to know what cards do what and what they're called. Like, I don't know what K Castle is. Like, I know that it has a full name.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. And to be able to get offline and just be on the home screen and go look at cards and then go like, what would a super tanky Muriel look like? Or what would all damage Kwang look like? That would be incredibly helpful. And again, they don't have to implement it to where it transfers in game, but people can make notes, put it in their phone, on write it down, like do this, and this.
Paragon Deck Builder on the app.
Paragon Deck Builder, bro.
No, yeah, the cards are so small where it abbreviates names, and then you're just like, oh, does that say P Blade or S Blade? Because there's like three different kinds of blades.
Yeah, and it's white on white a lot.
Yeah. The cards need art, but I mean that's not.
That's like a mini
important.
aesthetic. It's nice because your eye will recognize a potion versus a sword. Go like, okay, I need that real quick, and you can go fast. And that's good for beginners too, because like a beginner doesn't know the difference between what is that card, AF for like a jungler, and GT. I don't like. Nobody knows what that is.
There's, I think, at least for carries, there's like one or two builds that you do. It's always the same exact cards, no matter who you play. Maybe you put, what is it, K Castle that has the dash.
Yeah, the 600 unit.
You
dash.
put that on like Sparrow.
Yeah,
but there's no. What am I trying to say? There's no different variety in builds, and that's probably going to come later.
Sure, it's certainly a basic card system right now, which is fine because obviously gameplay and mechanics kind of overrule that as far as priorities go.
Mm-hmm. I think they limited themselves a little bit with doing the upgrade system because they had to build so many different little cards. And then, I mean, they kind of ran out of ideas going up. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah.
I just missed the 60 CP. Put those minor crits in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was.
You remember? You're like, wait, what is?
No, I remember that now. Like you would basically pick the card you want to do,
an empty card,
and here's like, okay, here's your base 60 power.
Slain.
Then what do you want to put in it?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was 10% crit. Oh, you want to do another 10% crit, and then boom, so you got 60 power and 20% crit, and you made your card. It's still building, but it's like you're building on the stats you want to use because you could do, more power and speed or speed or speed crit.
Yeah.
Like you could have crazy builds.
It would have been cool to have like your
ally has been slain.
Low tier and mid tier cards, but then those high tier cards are empty, so you can build your own stats with it, and maybe just upgrade what stats you want that have. I mean, it's not going to be. You can't build this one card that gives you extra crit. You can't put shields on it because it's a crit damage. Card, so you only upgrade those two. It locks it in. It would have been cool that way, but I guess they made it a little bit more appropriate to MOBAs because Smite has the upgrade system, and
so is League and all that stuff. I get it, but I think that's part of the reason both of us liked Paragon because it was different and it was.
Well, yeah. Something I saw is I haven't looked into Overprime at all.
Yeah, me neither.
But if you want something that's different from Paragon, but it divulges a little bit, you play Faults because it has a different build system, things like that. If you want something that's essentially Paragon 2.0, you play Predecessors,
right?
Because I don't know, it feels like Paragon. So,
do you know if Overprime, one of them was a 3 leveled map? There was like a bottom level, a mid level, and a top level.
Wasn't that Overprime like back in the day?
Maybe, I don't know.
I remember what you're talking about. How they had the. This is weird.
Yeah, there was 5 or 6, maybe 7,
back in the day.
Like, yeah, that were trying to come out and
Well,
really
Core,
do something.
which
Please don't talk about them. I'm so mad at them.
was Core Faults. Wasn't that
No.
There was Core.
Because Core was from Metabuff.
Oh
I
yeah.
distinctly remember that.
I put Sylphin to them. That's
Oh
why.
yeah, I think he did switch,
Um.
but he's with Fault now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overprime.
Predecessor.
Predecessors.
There was the one guy who was making his own thing by himself.
I remember
You
that.
Remember him?
Yeah.
He said like, I'm not gonna put this out for people. I'm
This is
just
just for
kind of
me.
I'm practicing. I'm just practicing my animation skills and my coding and stuff like that.
Well, I think the reason, I mean, too, it took so long and it weeded out all those like companies that wanted to do it versus that know
Yeah.
how to do it. Is they released all of their assets, but that's it. Like you could get your model for Murdoch, but to make it walk, you needed to
An
code it,
ally has
and
been
they didn't
slain.
release any
Yeah.
audio, so you had to make your own audio.
Ally has been
And-
slain. Enemy has been slain.
I think that
Enemy has
I don't
been
know. I would
slain.
like to see how
Double
many people,
kill.
if Fault wants to release, they might not, but if Fault wants to release, how many people purchased keys or the game, whatever you want to say, like bought it on Steam, because then I feel like you can get a good look at, okay, they made X amount of money. Now they can start actually like maybe buying some of these like preset animations, preset like audio tracks and stuff like
Does
that.
Unreal Engine do
An
that?
ally
Like,
has
you
been
buy-
slain. Has been
I'm not
slain.
sure. I'm just saying, like, I know that more money opens up doors to like more of these things, and if that's like paying somebody to come animate or
I listen to Faultcast. I listen to like one or two because I listen to a lot of like audiobooks at work and stuff like that. But I listen to Faultcast, and from what they said, is they actually hired a AAA designer
Enemy
for their
tower
new
destroyed.
HUD
okay.
and UI.
The HUD is big. The HUD is like your
The HUD looks cheap though too at the same time because like you have your cards that don't have any emblems. And I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's big. Like I think that is like one of the main things that newcomers notice is the HUD because it's your heads up display. It's everywhere. It's you need it for everything. Minimap, health, items, gold. It's important that it looks good and is clear. I think to go back to Paragon, their last HUD was really good
because you can shrink it inside.
yeah, and it was really clear your health and mana.
you can put your
and-
health on top and the
yeah,
bottom and things
mhm.
like that.
Yeah, I really like that, and it felt small in the screen, like overall, but when you're in game, it's big enough that you go like, okay, I'm half
ally
health, like
has
I
been
need to
slain.
figure out what I'm doing here, or it was like easier to manage other people's health, your health, your allies' health, like you could understand what's going on, and you could still read the map.
V42 was the new card system and new
Yes.
like update, right?
Mhm.
The card system was trash,
Yeah,
but everything else with that update was good,
it was good.
except for the card system.
Yeah, because people started exploiting these like
Ally
super
has
random
been
things
slain.
that they didn't think were gonna do. But that happens with every game. That's not 100% Epic's fault with that. Like any time a game comes out, people are gonna be like, if you do this, and this, like put on 6. What was the one card
An
that
allied
like
tower
tripled
is under
your
attack.
damage?
A Deathbringer?
But if you died,
Was it Death?
no, but if you died, you
Oh.
lost it.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
were
could
like,
put on 6 of those, you had 15
Allied
health.
tower
But
You
when you
could
shot,
one-hit
you did
person.
20k. And it was like, you're letting people do this? And you're like, yeah, but if they get hit one time. I'm like, Murdoch's ult kills people. It's not supposed to kill
he just
people
sits
from
in the
full
back.
health.
Enemy
Yeah.
has been
So
slain.
yeah, there was a lot of weird things with that update.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want this to last too long because I don't know. So let's break it down.
An ally
The
has
game
been
looks
slain.
good. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, if you're standing still in tower,
It looks good.
it looks great.
An
And they've done a
enemy
good
has
job with
been
that.
slain.
As soon as you start moving to, attack, things start to get a little jumpy. Frames start to drop for sure.
Things to change. Just overall polish of the game, whether it's FPS
Enemy
drops,
tower
which they've
destroyed.
talked about multiple times.
Yeah, they had a blog post saying that that's like
enemy
one of
has
their
been
big
slain.
things is to figure out how to
which
that.
which will help in team fights. Overall animations of abilities and basic attacks.
An enemy
Like,
has been slain.
one thing,
An
just to
enemy
go
has
back.
been slain.
Twin blast freaking rocket boots. So my thing is they need to add momentum,
Yeah.
because you like rocket boost a foot and then just drop from the ground.
Yeah, if you jump off one of the elevated spots
It's
and rocket boost, you just yeah, it's not good.
So that just goes down to polish, and hopefully this game succeeds enough where they actually work on it enough to polish up these little things. I don't think this game's gonna get like huge like AAA
No.
title like full on sponsorships for esports and
or
all that
tournaments,
jazz.
No.
But
Do I think that it could have a healthy player base though? That when you want to go play Fault, you can go play Fault. Absolutely.
Do you think it'll take a year or two for it to evolve and grow and polish?
I think
out?
this time next year, it will be nicely polished, and I think that they'll have a decent player base. Like I think after that is whether we find out if it booms and ends up going like, oh, they've got a good player base now. They can actually start making moves, or if it's just gonna be like, this is who we are.
I mean, Smite don't look that good, and it still has a player base. They
Yeah,
still
but
have
it's-
esports.
Yeah, but it runs wonderfully.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the whole thing.
You can have 20 different, like a 5-on-5. People are growing in size and like throwing out giant
Yeah.
tentacle monsters, and
Yeah, and they got portals
Cthulhu,
going
yeah.
through up and down. Heimdall throws you into the other world, and,
and
you're
you're
coming
just
back. And,
and no frame drop.
yeah, I gain frames.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that was a decent talk.
Yeah,
Maybe we can get another predecessor's key. We can jam it together.
let Will have a predecessor key.
Yo, there's a content creator key thing I might apply for on their website.
Please hit up Andimus. We
Yeah.
need this.
And yeah,
Enemy tower destroyed.
if we can play that, then we'll talk about that, and we can have good comparisons.
Yeah,
'Cause once
it's
you-
hard for me to compare right now because like the only thing I see is what people put online.
Once you play Pred, you're like, this feels good, but there's 9 people to play.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it gets boring. You can only play like 2 carries.
Well, I
2
bought the
support.
base Fault package, so I
Oh,
only had
yeah.
like 6 people or whatever it was too. So.
But it feels good.
Yeah.
So we'll maybe in a month we'll play Pred,
Yeah.
or you can come over and play around in Pred.
That's true.
on my
I could
computer.
just come play it on your PC.
And yeah, so and if anybody likes this, then we can do it again.
Yeah, we could do another one after like 2 updates or something.
Yeah, and
Or
we'll
if the
talk,
next one's big, it'd be nice.
and we'll have an actual fault cast, but that's already taken. So fault
well,
gone.
okay.
Has been slain.
Thanks. Okay, we're out. Bye.
Ally has been slain.